Today is October the 10th, 27 days before the election, and in Florida, it is all about Hurricane Michael. Yep, 145 miles sustained winds as of this recording. And in politics, hurricanes in Florida is always an issue, and it's a big mother right now. Now, if you can call it fortunate, for a Category 4, the path is looking far west. It's in the entirety of the Panhandle, which is the least populated of the major media markets here in Florida. But it's still bad, really bad. And it does not look like it's slowing down. It actually got stronger. Up to 145 miles. It theoretically could hit as a 5. Probably not, but it's more likely to be a 5 than it is downgraded to a 3 at the time of impact. And in Florida, it's all about politics, and it's all about hurricanes, and I'm going to give you 5 minutes about how, 4 weeks away from the election, this should impact. So like and subscribe below. As of yesterday, there were over 5,900 mentions of Governor Scott on paid and unpaid media throughout Florida and cable. That dwarfs the less than 10% that went to Senator Bill Nelson. And why that matters is because free media is like paid media but good, because you're getting your name out there, and as long as things are okay, it's good. And all these mentions, again, he couldn't buy it, he gets to save his war chest. And while in Miami and in Orlando they probably won't be talking very much about the storm, well, at least, you know, it's not going to be the wall-to-wall coverage you get on Channel 7 here in Miami. It does matter. And I suspect that as long as the storm does not have a Katrina or a Maria level event, when it comes to long-term damage, Rick Scott should rise in the polls. Just a matter of fact. Now on the governor's race, Andrew Gillum again gets to be the one more on TV. Gets to play out the same playbook. Yesterday he was on CNN. And on the Weather Channel, might as well call it weather porn at this point. And as I'm recording this, I re-recorded it because he's going to be on MSNBC. He gets to get even more, likes and free airtime than Ron DeSantis. He had about 600 yesterday. I supported Ron DeSantis is less than 300. Now he needs some of that because some of those mentions were not positive. One of the ads that keeps playing in Florida, and it just happens to be about the timing. Now, when Rick Scott bought ads for the governor talking about hurricanes, you buy it for hurricane season, you don't know if you're going to get a home run and get a hurricane that's going to happen at the same time. He did. For Republicans, they get to do the same thing for Mr. Gillum. Again, they bought the ads not knowing a hurricane would be rolling through, and not knowing it would be rolling through Tallahassee. And, his record during a Hurricane 1 in Tallahassee was not very good. At least that's the perception. And Category 1 hurricane in Florida, while in most states that's a big deal, in Florida that's like a 2-hour weather event, like a 2-hour snowstorm. Which a 2-hour snowstorm in Florida would be kind of freaky, but in most of the country, a 2-hour snowstorm would be nothing, and that's how most Floridians take a Hurricane 1. And the ads are basically that he failed. And we're running them constantly, and that's where part of those messages are. So he needs to get on TV, he needs to do everything he can to sustain that lead that he has, and move forward, and for him, get his butt elected. Now, for the other major races here in Florida, it's sort of odd that Debbie Mercosol-Powell is not accepting more debates. She is down in the polls to Carlos Curbelo in 26, and Curbello's team is making a note of it. Now, normally when you are leading, you don't care to debate, and when you are losing, you want every debate. And you would think that Carlos was losing, even though there's not a single poll that has Debbie ahead, at least that I've found out there, and most of them have him between 3 and 5 points up. Again, within the margin of error on some of it, but outside the margin of error on others. On what can only be referred to as Goofy Time, Ken Brockman's look-alike, Elliot Rodriguez of CBS 4, attacking Maria Salazar. He says he wasn't attacking. He was just saying, "Oh, I wasn't attacking her accent. I just said she wasn't a good enough English speaker to have a job on English TV." Made a post why he even made the post about why, his good friend. And it's like, why would you say you're a good friend if you're going to shit on her for, quote unquote, not having a good enough voice, not speaking English well enough to be on English TV? And he's doubled down. He's saying, no, I even though in the post he misspelled Donna Shalala's name wrong. Actually, he misspelled her name wrong. He didn't misspell his name wrong. That would be a double negative. English is not my first language, even though it is. He misspelled Donna Shalala's name, and but said that Maria's not qualified. And some people have mistakenly thought that Maria Salas, I think that was his wife's sex name, is Maria Salazar. It's not. They both have the same exact initials, MES, and some people think that's why the hate was there. No. Unless Elliot Rodriguez has Alzheimer's, no, his wife is not Salazar. But it's sort of funny time. And you're starting to see the attack ads now for and against Donna Shalala. Ramped up to an 11. Donna's running attack ads against Salazar for being too media savvy. Again, it's friends of Salazar. Or friends of Donna. Can't say friends of Salazar. And then for Salazar, they're running ads about how crappy she was as president of the University of Miami with the whole Ponzi scheme, even though they weren't allowed to show the check. The check is such a powerful thing, her taking the money, but was not allowed to show the check. So, check wasn't put into the video. Maybe they can figure a way around it next time they run it. But if you're in the Panhandle, why are you there? Get out. It's a big motherfucker. Leave. It's so big that it's going to be a Category 1 sometime in the middle of Georgia, and a tropical storm when it hits South Carolina. So it's big. So get out. And not in an Academy Award winning way. Alrighty. Like and subscribe. See you around.